And welcome to the big data demo recording for the group 2016-0528 analytics on the Medicare hospital dataset. We are Jivtesh and Siri, and we have done a bunch of analytics on the Medicare hospital compare dataset, which is a very vast dataset, having a lot of ratings for various hospitals as well as Medicare spending by hospital and state. So let's begin with running our shell script, which extracts all the data from the tables that we have. Here we have this two scripts. One is db.sh and db.test. While these run and extract data from our tables, let's have a look at the data itself. These are the tables that we'll be extracting all the information from. One of these is called the Medicare hospital spending by state by claim table. So over here we can see all the hospitals. There are like 4,000 hospitals all over the country. They have their state and the like all the claims that these hospital Medicare claims that they made, and for with what claim type the claim was made. And we also have very detailed hospital ratings, the HCAPS table, where patients can tell it goes into as much detail as whether their room was clean, whether the staff was helpful, and how many respondents answered the room was always clean or sometimes or never clean and stuff like that. It's like this one is as you can see 147,808 rows, so quite a lot of data for us to look at. So let's see if we have. So as we can see, our script ran, and here this is the data for the net average spending per claim for each US state. Over here is a number of cases that came to these hospitals per each state, and this is a multiplication of these two, so it's like the total Medicare spending by each state. And here we can see like California has the high spending because of population reasons. So once we run this data, we get like our historical data for the previous years of the spending that we have. And once these files end, we can run our regression script, which is in Python, to predict the spending for the next year. We were forced to separate our scripts because the database, Microsoft Access database, needed to be written with the Jython script, and Python, sklearn and numeric libraries could not work with that. So let's just run our regression script as well. And now it ran really quickly and gave us the JSON output that we needed in order for our AngularJS front end to plot our graphs and our maps. Let's just it's already been written to a JSON file, so let's get that thing listening and let's see the result that we got. And there we go. So this is the sum of total payment for all the diseases per state. As you can see, the most populous states obviously have a greater Medicare payment: California, and then Texas, Florida, New York. And but on average payment, the remote places like Alaska have really high average payment because the high cost of healthcare there. Another thing that we did there was we ran our prediction for disease trends, where we can see we ran it with historical data for heart failure over the previous 4 years, and this is the incidence of heart failure we expect next year, so joint replacement and chest pain. And finally, there is a hospital recommendation where if you enter a zip code, it will tell you the nearest hospital. It will mark it on the map, and it will show you like the details, the star rating of that hospital as well. So this takes a bit of a time to run. It will query the database. There's a lot of work to do on the back end, like communication between the front end and the back end. But by the time it runs, and there we go, we have uh, the zip code marked and the hospitals that are in that zip code. Hold on, here we go. So yeah, that was zip code in New York, and there we go, two hospitals on that zip code. And if we go down here, we get their summary ratings and their addresses and where they are located. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you for listening.